Hello, welcome to a beta look at Kingdom Come Deliverance. This game has been in alpha previously. I haven't played the alpha. I don't like playing alphas because they're generally a bit shit and can ruin sort of expectations for the game a bit. I've found anyway previously. Betas, I try and avoid them too, but I am most intrigued by this game and I thought I'd come and have a look. I did have a quick look at it prior to setting up this video. I'm running less than the minimum specs from my PC. I'm only running 8GB of RAM where it calls for 16. I do have a modern CPU and my graphics card is an AMD 7950, which is slightly old these days, but it seems to handle it okay on high settings, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. It's a bit stuttery, but I mean, A, it's a beta, and B, I'm running under the specs a little bit, so I'm not too worried about that. I tried out combat briefly with mouse and keyboard, and it was okay, but I thought I'd try a controller just from the way its combat works with the directional attacks and counter attacks. I thought a controller might be a bit easier, so we'll see how that goes. Now, initially we've got a cutscene which sets up a bit of the story. I think we will watch it and we'll take it from there. I will be going a jack of all trades, as it says there. I beat it begins midway through the actual game, so I will be trying out, you know, both sides of the coin. So I'm going to go jack of all trades, and we shall see what the story is. Previously on.
Of the king, chaos and turmoil ruled the land, and our province was no exception. We were overrun by bandits and marauders, and the roads were no longer safe. The most terrible massacre happened at the stud farm in Neuhof, which was raided and torched, and all the horses slaughtered. My liege lord sent his men, led by Sir Robert of Talmberg, to track down the killers and to bring them to justice. I rode with them, but the investigation has been slow and difficult. Whenever I came across some trace of the bandits, someone erased it in the cruelest way imaginable. In the end, though, I got one step ahead of the enemy. I found out one of the bandits was still alive and hiding near Talmberg. But before I set out to track him down, I had to report to Sir Robert.
Faster! In a real fight, you'd be dead already.
Sir.
Ah, Henry. Carry on. Well, lad, have you made any progress with the investigation?
Yes, sir. I think I have at last.
So you've found someone who isn't gutted and nailed to a wall?
It wasn't easy, sir, but I believe I have. I have information about one of the bandits who did it. He's even hiding in a village nearby.
God's blood. It's true the darkest shade is beneath the candlestick. Who is he?
I only know that they call him Riki, and he's from here in Talmberg.
That's it?
You wouldn't believe how much effort it took me to find that out. But I think it's enough to go on.
What if he's dead too?
I think we'd already know if he was. These fellows are not given to subtlety.
True enough. We haven't found any more mutilated corpses. Well, get on with it then. And when you find him, come and see me. Most likely I'll be in the encampment by Merhoed.
You can rely on me, sir. Farewell.
And be careful, Henry. I know what that rabble did to you. But remember with whom you're dealing. Don't start any foolhardiness on your own. Understood?
I'll try not to, sir.
So we have our, what would you call it, motivation for the beta, which is to find a guy called Reek, a la Reek from Game of Thrones, who's probably an arsehole. Well, he is a bandit, so. And we need to have a chat, see what's up. From what I can gather, the bandit part of the tale precedes the beta, but nothing to do with the opening cinematic, which I skipped and is widely available on YouTube. Just gives a bit of overview of what's happened as far as the Emperor dying and the new Emperor being a bit shit, so his half-brother usurps to take over and turns out to be quite the arsehole. I think the bandit stuff is post all that. Anyway, we are going to have a look at this village because we need to find information about Riki. Now, the settings for the camera are quite shit, so we might just... must have a better controller. We'll turn up the sensitivity as well. See how this goes. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Get off our horse, so we're not talking down to everybody. Let's find some people to have a chat with. What can you tell us about
Can you tell me
Talmberg?
something about Talmberg? What's it like here?
Okay, so not everyone's voice acted, which is more than acceptable in a beta. What can you tell
I'm
me
looking for
about
some fellow
Rick?
they call Riki.
That's the tanner's son, Hennick.
Where can I find him?
Hard to say. He's not around here much. Thank Christ. You could try his folks' place.
Why do they call him Riki anyway?
Why do you think? Because he's got a big nose? He reeks, that's why. Jesus.
That's a stupid question.
What can you tell me about this Hennick?
I wouldn't say I know him. Decent people have nothing to do with him.
How come?
He stinks, he's filthy, and he goes around with peculiar people. In short, not someone you'd want to know.
Wow. There is quite the branch in dialogue.
What's the tanner like? Hennick's father?
He's a slimy old toad, unpleasant to folk, and weird.
Okay.
Why don't people like him?
I'm not one to gossip. All I can tell you is he doesn't make a good impression on folk.
And does nobody at all talk to him?
I hear he sees Adela.
So Adela is his sweetheart.
Sweetheart? I wouldn't put it that way. She's anybody's sweetheart if they've got the money for it.
Okay, so we need to find the town hall. That's always good. For obvious reasons. Hello, Mr. Guard. That's the chick we just talked to. So the game looks absolutely stunning. Even running just at high and on my shitty graphics card. It looks amazing. So I don't know what buttons are on the controller. Okay, so it has a Skyrim system of waiting, which is good. Let's check out our keybinds here. Crouch is push the right stick, I think. B is sprint. X is jump. Y is call for your force. Right trigger, right stab. Okay, left block is block. And, oh, okay, cool. It's a map. Now this is where controllers tend to fall down. Menus. It's pretty intuitive. So we want to hit up the tavern or, sorry, the bathhouse. And obviously, as you talk to people, you get more information. And that information, if it's pertinent, is updated in the quest log, which is really cool. Rather than having a big quest marker for you must talk to this person or whatever, you actually have to do a little bit of exploring, which I really appreciate. Yeah. You're a bit ugly to be a whore.
What do you think you're doing? Get the hell out of here!
Sorry. For the bathhouse. You loading there? So. Wow, that looks awesome. Jeez, I hope Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord comes anywhere near these graphics. Between this and that game. Won't be seeing me for a while. Hi guards. Do you want to chat? Yeah? Okay. How about you? You want to chat? Yeah, you do.
Welcome to my shop.
Where's the bathhouse?
Right by the fish pond. Big white tent in the courtyard. He says I can't miss it. I bet I'll miss it. Fish pond. Fish pond, fish pond. There's white tents, but that's where I was just before. Surely it's not where I was. Maybe it is. That's the only white tent I can see. Can't see any other white tents, so let's go for a swim. Is this the bathhouse? Nope. An axe that we cannot steal. A shame. Doesn't make the greatest YouTube showing when you don't know where the hell you're meant to go, but definitely saying for gaming, it's good. Get out, have a look around. Generally, back in the day, tanneries were far away from housing because they stuck like shite. So, this be the tannery. No, it doesn't look like it. The hides hanging on. How high can you jump? Realistically high, which is not very high. Okay. I think we'll just mosey on down through the rest of the village. What's in here? Sweet. Fuck all. Again, beautiful game. Okay, crouch is a toggle. That's good. guess that puts you into sneaky thief mode. What can we steal? I want to see what happens. We can steal a carrot. Surely we can steal that with a carrot. What's in here? Note? Not really. Okay. Must stop myself from playing like I do in Skyrim when you go into every house. Try and loot everything that is nailed to the floor, just in case you need it. Okay,
What do you want here? Hop it, or I'll call the guard.
so people are not a fan of you just wandering into their place, which is quite realistic. Yeah. Many of the open larders though, full of food, so that's good. Now, where the freak is this bathhouse? This town is fucking huge. Looking for a fish pond or a white tent? I haven't seen either. Two quest markers. Let me zoom out. Ah, so it was where I was originally. I have my sword out. It's the best plan. I'll piss somebody off. So, after all that, I just needed to open my map. Voila. She has a nice butt. Oh. Character models are excellent. Just keep in mind this is a beta, so most impressive.
I heard you've been seeing Hinnock the Tanner.
So what? Come to preach to me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner? That I seduce decent men, huh?
Nope.
Look, I don't care what you do. That's your affair. I just want to ask about something.
I'm glad to hear it. Some folk don't care for the way I make a living.
I
I'm
can
all for
imagine.
it.
So, what about you then? You look a bit careworn. A bath with a bit of company might do you good.
Oh, hey, it's just went R-rated.
Maybe later, sweetheart. Right now, I have some questions to ask.
Ask away.
Where can I find Hinnock?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
He goes to the woods from time to time. That smells fishy.
What do you mean? There's no law against it, is there?
With all the footpads, pillagers, humans, and God knows what kind of vermin around, I'd say that's pretty suspicious.
But Hinnock certainly has nothing to do with those people.
Then what does he do there? I don't expect he's gathering mushrooms.
I really don't know what you want from me. So Hinnock is a bit odd, and sometimes he goes off into the woods.
Okay, so we failed the persuasion. So we have another option for persuasion.
Look here. I'm a friend of Hinnock's, and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
But I already told you I don't know where he is.
So I suppose he just goes to the woods to pick mushrooms, does he?
I really don't know what you want from me. So
Fail,
Hinnock is a
fail.
bit odd, and sometimes he goes off into the woods.
Okay, so that failed. That's alright.
When did you see him last?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening.
A few days.
That was unusual.
I never saw him drink much. He always came here sober.
So he was acting strange that evening.
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He kept on prattling and wasn't interested in, well, you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Hard to say. He went on about some Jacob who died. Then he was regretting he ever got into it, but he never said what it was. And that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye, and then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of money hidden at home behind the house.
Aha. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me and we could get married and such. Just poppycock.
Sounds like a nice guy.
Did you go there for a look?
No, I've no time for such things. Obviously, he made it up. Where would a layabout like that get money?
Sure, I understand. Did he tell you exactly where he hid it?
He said he
Somewhere
buried
there,
it at his
steal
dad's
it.
small holding in the western corner.
All right, thanks.
Objective started. Find Riki's stash. Okay. So, yeah, that's a little confusing. We've got a woman that screws for money, gets told about a pile of money that she can go take, and she doesn't go take it. Yeah, that's realistic. That's cool. So I guess we need to go to where the stash is, which is on the other side of the castle. As I'm sure you noticed, some of the words in the subtitles were different to the voice acting. Not really a huge problem in my opinion. Think about it, but obviously something to hope they fix for release, because it does look a bit shit. Okay, so we have 2 objectives out here. That's one objective. And the second one is the stash, which is where he's working. Do I need a shovel? I need a shovel, so that makes sense. Let's have a chat. I think this is his father.
I'm looking for a fellow they call Riki. Have you ever heard tell of him?
Why wouldn't I? That's what they call my son, Hinnick.
Aha. You wouldn't happen to know where he is?
I don't know nothing.
Don't you know at least where he usually goes? It's quite important.
Hinnick shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to. Even if I did, why would I tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry?
Okay, so we have persuasion. Use your influence and intimidate. Let's find out who his friends are before we try
Do
any
you
of
at
those.
least know anyone he's friends with, or someone he goes to see?
As far as I know, nobody here in the village talks to him.
I heard he's seeing some bathhouse wench.
Maybe. He can't get it for free, so I suppose he's got to go to the baths.
Thanks, Dad. Way to talk your son up.
Watch your tongue, peasant. I am an envoy of Sir Rotzik Kobila, and I'm conducting an investigation here. So stop hedging and tell me where your son is, right now.
Sir Radzig's envoy. Sorry, try that on someone else.
Okay, so that was impress, not persuade, my bad. So this must be persuade.
Your son is about to get into deep shit. I'm trying to find him so I can warn him.
That's nothing new. He's always up to his ears in it.
And this time his neck is on the block. He got mixed up with some very unsavory people. I have to find him.
I'm not surprised, but I still can't help you. I don't know where he is.
I'm not even going to bother with Intimidate because this guy seems crusty. Now, what I would like to see is stats of some sort. Here we go. It's charisma. Charisma of 3. Speech of 6. Okay, it doesn't really give a gauge of if that's good or bad. I guess that's the only thing. I mean, I'm starting on a strength of 15, so a speech of 6 is probably a bit shit. Oh, what's this crap? All these perks. Interesting. Okay. So I've got a lot of purchasing perks for speech rather than talking to people, which is interesting. Well, he said he's in the woods, but as you can see, that could be frickin' anywhere. So yeah, I'm a bit of a loss what to do here. So I guess the next thing to do is to try and get the money. So I need to find a shovel, which means I'll probably have to go back to the store if I can't find one lying around. That would be the sensible progression, I would think. So just have a look for a shovel. Nettle. That's a herb, so to speak. Sort of pinch that. Okay. We can get more. Let's take some more. We can keep taking it. Okay. Well, at least I know where metal is. I need it. Hey, chook. Okay, we got a broom. A shovel. How do I take it? Have to go into stuff mode? No. Just called my horse. Because why not? All day to steal. Stolen. So I crouched down just for, well, you know, the fuck of it. Anyone was around. Now this will be interesting if I just start doing shit in front of this guy. You're gonna notice that A, I nicked his shovel, and B, I'm digging up his property. No, apparently it does not give a shit. What do we got? We got a white gambeson, which we will take. And 24 coins. So, no, could not give two shits. Alright, fair enough. That's us. Okay, so we can sell that off because it's in shitter condition than the one we've got. It's worth 6 coins, I guess. I don't know what these mean. Price is 0.1. Awesome. So, ain't worth shit. Alright. Guess we'll see if anything updated. Does not look like it. In the end, he had a bloodstained Gambison. Okay, so that Gambison is actually close related.
I'd like to talk to you about your Hinnock.
I'm very busy, so make it quick.
Thanks for the shovel, by the way.
What can you tell me about the money I found hidden behind your house?
Money? What money? What on earth are you on about?
24 groschen. Nicely stashed away for a rainy day. If I'd known tanning was so lucrative, I'd have switched trades.
I don't know nothing about it.
And I suppose you know nothing about the bloodied Gambison your son hid there too. Of course it would be a shame to throw away such a valuable thing.
Behind my house, you say?
So you know nothing about it? Looks like he pulled the wool over your eyes nicely. Still, I'm not surprised he never told you about it, considering how he came by that money.
How did he come by it?
I'm sure which one to go with.
He was paid to raid the Neuhof stud farm. He and his cronies slaughtered horses, stable boys, and even the owner Smill.
Jesus Christ, I've heard about that. You're saying Hinnock was with them?
Almost certainly.
He could have at least told me about the money, the little shit.
Forget about that. Tell me where he is.
Priorities.
All right. He was here a few days ago, but he left right away. He looked like he was in a hurry.
And you don't know where he went?
I've got an idea, but I don't know where it is exactly.
I don't follow you.
Hinnock makes some money on the side from poaching. He boasted to me a few times about what a great hideout he found in the woods, but he never told me where it is.
All right. It's not much to go on, but it's better than nothing. Don't you have any clue where his hideout might be?
I really don't know nothing about that. I could tell when he'd come from there is all.
How's that?
'Cause every time he brought some hides for tanning and money.
Okay, so we need to find some poachers.
He had money because he sold the stuff right away?
I suppose he never kept any of his loot here.
Do you know who he sold it to?
Well, I don't really know. But the innkeeper came here now and again and gave him money. Of course, it could have been for meat.
All right. I'll ask at the inn then.
So this is pretty logical progression.
What more do you know?
I don't know. I swear to God Almighty, I don't know. Hinnock never told me nothing.
It's raining.
I know he didn't talk to you about it, but you must have noticed something, right? How much time did he spend away? What was he wearing? How did he look when he came back? Anything!
Well, he came and went at various times. I really don't know. Except maybe one thing. He'd come home scratched with brambles and leaves and shit on him.
So he probably went through thick woods to get to that place.
I reckon. What do I know?
Alright.
What more do you know?
I don't know. I swear to God Almighty, I don't know. Hinnock never told me nothing.
Let's see what the other option is.
Bloody hell, start using your head or I'll never find Hinnock. How much time did he spend away? What was he?
Well, he came and...
So he probably went through thick woods to get to that place.
I reckon. What do I know?
Alright. Thank you, Hinnock's dad. You've been reasonably helpful. And with that, I think I'll end this first video here because we're going to bit of a look at the beta for Kingdom Come Deliverance and how it's coming along. Really okay, cool. So his dad does give a shit. That's good to know. So yeah, we'll finish here, and possibly I'll make another video in the short future, and we'll take it from there. Alright, thanks for watching.